The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Let's get into the main event from this past weekend, the circus that was Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. And Jake Paul got the unanimous decision. But round one, Mike staggered Paul with that right jab, but Paul came back with that overhand right and was pretty much in cruise control after that. Round two was a kind of a toss-up. Both fighters were kind of hesitant, but it was kind of hard to call that round. But round three, you're starting to see that Mike looked 58, and Paul started opening it up and stringing together those combos. And round 4 through 8, it was basically like a sparring session, and Paul was doing what he wanted to, and kind of looked like he was kind of carrying Mike in there, man, because a couple times he could have got him out there, and he boxed from the outside, utilized that jab, went to the body, and did a good job of throwing those power punches in there and cruised to the unanimous decision. What were your thoughts on this one, Chris?
I'm going to start with love first before I go to hate. I got to start with love first before I go to hate. Jake Paul, I love what you did for the community of boxing. You got people, you got us watching this. You fill up the Cowboy Stadium. Everybody came out to see it. Everybody got paid really well, it looked like. We saw some good fights. I'm happy what he did for boxing. Now, here's my hate. Jake Paul, this got to be my last fight I watch of you. I can't do it no more, guys. And I'm saying it. I just, like I said, first, and let me go back to that, the love. He could have got Mike out of there. And I'm glad he didn't get Mike out of there. I don't know if that's a contract or whatever, but we all was watching it. After the third round, it was over. It was all done. We saw it like, oh man, it's not looking good for Mike. We watching it just to hope the rounds just make it through it, Mike. You know what I mean? Don't get knocked out. Don't get knocked out. So I'm glad Jake knew, to me, he could have knocked him out. If it was any of them other fighters, he'd have knocked him out. He respected Mike, and he's a legend. And I had to give my props off to Jake. It's now became a circus to me. Like I can't take him. I just can't. I can't take watching him fights with him. And to be honest with you, this is the first time I see Jake kind of out of shape.
Yeah, he had to go up to heavyweight. Usually fights at 200 at cruiserweight.
He didn't look good to me. He didn't look good. He didn't look in shape. He didn't look good. And I always have a problem with him putting punches together. It just didn't look. I'm not saying that he's gonna knock out Mike or anything. I didn't like it. I just didn't like it, and it just turned me away. So that's all I got to say about it.
Yeah, we got a lot to unpack with this one, but what are your first thoughts on this, Steve?
Like Chris said, I think everybody in the boxing community and outside of it would have been highly mad if something happened to Mike. I know. I was like, man, I was getting mad. I'm like, Mike, just please make it. Jake, if you knock him out, man, you're going to make a whole community mad. Saw only glimpses of Mike. If you're trying to compare his old self, I saw a few times he tried to throw that jumping, leaping left hook that he always does when he was younger. You just see that Mike doesn't have it in him. And, of course, he's 58, so you're not going to see that. But we saw glimpses of it. I'm more happy that he set his own goal, to do something in the ring at that age. I don't even see how this helped Jake. Of course, you're supposed to finish him, but thankfully he respected him. But, you can't even get a 58-year-old out of there. And then on top of that, was it Tommy Fury? That was his first actual fight, and he lost. And so he's I will not, like you said, Chris, you said you won't watch a fight. I won't watch a fight until he fights professional competition, a Canelo or something like that, because then people would want to watch to definitely see Jake get beat up. And I think that would be fair since he's picking on retired MMA. I mean, we won't even stop at Mike. I think Mike's older, but he fought at Anderson Silva, who's up there in age. I mean, and still Anderson Silva was getting with him. Nate Diaz towards the end of his career, I think the only way he's going to get participation and anybody looking at him is a serious fight. Other than that, I was mad. I watched it because of Mike, but I'm mad I watched it.
Yeah.
Man, I call Cap. Y'all be watching this next fight. We got a show record. How can y'all not?
Listen,
Yeah.
we're watching the undercard, but as soon as Jake come on, man, I can't do it no more. I just can't do it no more. I can't do it. It has to be a professional. It has to be someone that's in the boxing world. I don't want to see no MMA fighters, no kickboxers. I don't want to see no Karate Kid. I don't want to see no retired actor. I don't even want to see myself fight Jay. I need him to fight some boxers now. It come to the point, okay, Jay, you knocked out it was fun, it's entertaining. And like I said, I came with love first. He's helped the game of boxing while he brought like the girls together. That girl fight twice was on his card. Now we got something to look for. We didn't even know they're great fighters. He brought the attention to the sport. I'm not going to take it away from him. But what we saw is like, all right, like he can't put I'm looking at the punches. I've been saying this over and over. He's not putting the punches together. It's not even looking like an amateur. It's looking more amateur, real amateur than it is professional boxing and low amateur, like novice amateur. Not because I've been in some amateur fights where open and these guys are throwing combinations after combinations. I can't see him put 4 to 3. He can't put 3 combinations together, and it just bothers my eyes just watching it.
Steve, you mentioned throwing him in a kind of a deep man with like a Canelo fight next. Like, why can't he slowly, make his way up the ranks? Like, do somebody that's outside of the top 10, but a real boxer, before throwing him in there with Canelo, because that wouldn't be a good idea if he were to jump the Canelo next.
I definitely agree, but since he wants to entertain it and play with people's name, he called Canelo, had a few comments about him. I say throw him in there, man. He thought you're fighting 58-year-olds. You better fight it professional. I mean, I know it's for the money. He's generating money and people watching him. But, I mean, you can fight, and I guess he has a name. But, I mean, how much is your name going to expand fighting these so-called nobodies in boxing? I would say he would fight well, then again, he fought Tommy Fury, and didn't win. I don't think, and then I don't even think Canelo would probably even entertain that at all. I think that would hurt his stock. But I agree with you, EJ. He would definitely have to fight somebody professional, maybe a little bit known name, or somebody that has a good record to give it to him. Because this fiasco he's been doing, I don't think it's gonna last. And let to mention, I don't know if y'all had problems with the stream.
We'll get into that a little later, but
I want to pick back on that real quick though. I don't know if you're Jake though, why would I go fight a real fighter?
Right.
I'm like, I'm making 40. He made 40. Suppose he made 40 million for this fight.
And Mike made 20.
Yo, these real fighters don't even make that. A 40 million paycheck, a payout, you're retired. You're going in the sunset. I don't even know why. I want to. If I'm Jake, I want to entertain anything serious. Why would I do that? Put myself in harm's way. I just got 40 million in the bank. Who knows how much other millions he got too, on top of what he's doing. Live in Puerto Rico, tax free. He's walking. I seen him walk on the stage with a nice, beautiful lady. So he's having a good time. He's having a good life. Why am I jumping in there trying to fight these real fighters and get hurt? Or that's not his lane. So it's kind of that's why I'm saying for me, it's going to be hard for me to keep watching him because I don't see him going into the real ranks. That's over with. What he should have, if we was looking for him to be a real fighter after the Nate Robinson fight and a couple other fights, then if you would have pushed into when he lost his only fight that he lost, if you'd have pushed into more boxing, then got into this fight, then I could see it. But to the fact that he kept fighting the way he's fighting in all these, entertainment fights, I would say, there's no way that he can go and fight a real fighter now. I don't see it.
Unless he's lying. He said he wants to be cruiserweight champion, so he's gonna have to fight boxers though.
He don't even. You see, you saw what he got. He ain't got enough to fight a real cruiserweight that's a champ. He don't got it.
So
no way.
So like Steve said, he did call out Canelo, but after the fight, Beterbiev, the 175 champ, called him out, and Paul kind of gave a non-answer. He said, "I'm a disruptor. I got the light heavyweight champ calling me out," but he didn't really respond to it, saying he wanted to fight him. Also, he talked about fighting Conor and PFL in an MMA fight. So, in y'all's honest opinion, what do y'all see him doing next? Immediately fighting next? It's Chris.
Anything that's entertaining.
So you don't see him doing a real boxing match?
No, there's no point. There's no point. If I'm on his team, why would you do that? It's all for him and his brother. They're all entertainers, right? They do wrestling. They do all this stuff. They've been entertaining us since they got on the stage, and I'm not mad at it. It's all entertainment. We got to understand that. I'm just saying, for me, I'm done with that entertainment. It's not for me no more. I can't watch.
So what circus fight do you think that they have left for him to do though?
There is. That's what I'm saying. This was the biggest one. I don't know what else they got. I don't know what else they're gonna pull. They're gonna pull something out though. Something's gonna happen. I don't know. Another, like I said, they're gonna pull it out. They're gonna figure it out. But it's just another circus fight. It's not real. Like it's real, but not real. Like I don't know how to explain it.
What do you think, Steve? Like what his immediate next match? I mean,
that's the only possible fight that you can do. That is a circus fight, and it's Mike. Who else are you gonna get?
Another Mike match? You saying it would be next?
No. I highly doubt that, or I wouldn't want to see him fight Mike again. I can't even think of somebody. Like, he chose the perfect person to still keep that stigma of a possibility. Everybody's either too old, retired, it doesn't even have I can't even think of a possibility other than the only thing that I think is people are going to take him seriously is probably a more skilled fight. But I think Tyson tops it off. I mean, I can't even think, or anybody's going to take it serious. Especially we saw Mike, tire out and look 58 years old. Like I said, I think his run after this one is ran out. I don't see him, and I really don't see him getting somebody professional, because Tyron Woodley caught him a good time in his fight, and he almost got put away. Not like he got dazed him, but he hit him pretty hard. You fight these professionals that's know what they're doing and torque a punch, he's easily getting knocked out, to me, my opinion.
Yeah.
I think he actually faces a boxer next. I don't think he'll go up to the top like Canelo. I think somewhere in the Tommy Fury type lane, maybe even a Tommy Fury rematch. I think he fights next.
My only issue though, he don't put the punches together. So how long these rounds gonna be? How many rounds? Because he can't put 3 punches together consistently. So he's a one-hitter quitter, that guy, and that's with a real boxer with good defense. Like Mike was over there, like he's over there dodging the punches like this. So with someone that can dodge those punches, Mike wasn't throwing. Like Mike in his mind looked like he thought he could throw those punches, but in his body was like, "Nah, dude, you 54, you better chill out. You can't throw these punches like that." But he was moving, so he gets someone that can move just like that and get to him. I don't see it. Jake's gonna be in trouble. I know everybody wants to see him get knocked out, but I think his team, and they're so smart. They sold the dream that he can't be beaten, and it's another circus fight. I don't see another boxer. I see another circus fight.
I know somebody who put a good career together, not throwing a lot of combos, just throwing power punches, not stringing them together. Deontay Wilder. he don't throw combos at all.
Yeah, you're right. I can't even argue. You're right.
So you can make a career out of it. But yeah, I think they're going to be smart with who they choose next. But I'm still interested to see what happens. But after the fight, people thought Mike was just gonna hang it up. Mike said he might not be done. He might be looking to do Logan Paul next. What do you think about that, Chris?
Because he just made 20 million. Mike just made 20 million off 2-minute rounds. He's like, I can do it again. If I can last with him, I'll last with his brother. Come on, that's another 20 million. Let's do it. So I ain't mad at Mike. Mike, we don't listen, Mike. I hope you can listen to me. I hope you hear this. Big dog, we love you. It's time to sit down. It's all right. We saw this with the Roy Jones fight with you. It's time to sit down. But if you can go get your bag, get your bag. I'll support you, but please sit down. We don't want to get you hurt. We don't want to see you get hurt. We don't want to see that.
You're not gonna watch him and Logan?
I mean, of course I'm gonna watch that one, Mike, but I don't want to see it. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Mike's my man, but you got the 20. Let's chill. We good now. You're in a good place right now. We good.
What do you think, Steve, Logan, and Mike?
Man, hard. I mean, Logan's. I think he's a bigger, more stronger than his brother. Not saying that they're gonna probably knock out, but shit, man, punch might slip, and I mean, why even do Jake and you didn't win, and you're asking for Logan, which is a bigger person. It's not too much in boxing like his brother, but I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Let me say one thing. Mike Tyson, looking at him, boy, man, he if you ever had like parents, the movies to where they have a dad, y'all get out them damn flowers in his drawers. Did y'all see they had Mike Tyson's ass out on my national television?
That was crazy work. That was crazy work. Who did that? Who did that? Don't do that.
He had like the jock strap on.
Yeah. What's going on, Mike? He gave the homeboy like a hug, kiss type of thing. Walked away. I was like, oh, hey, yo, what's going on?
He's like talking to him.
That's his son.
He walked away.
That was son?
Yeah, that was his son.
All right. Well, still, sometimes we don't need to be in the locker room. Sometimes we could just wait till they come back out to the front. It's crazy. Back to the Jake. You know what? I do got a fight for him. I got a good fight. Mayweather.
I mean, Logan fought Mayweather. It'll be an exhibition.
I know, but at this point, like if this is another circus fight, that's the only thing I can see. And that's what Mayweather's in the game for, all circus fights right now. And that's one we didn't get. I think they're leaning to that one. I would lean into that one.
That could happen, but I don't know how much people be invested in the exhibition fight. But who knows?
It's Mayweather and Jake. They're already selling out everything else. They'll sell out that one. That one sell out just as much, probably even more.
I think Mayweather even carried Logan that fight.
Yeah, he did.
He allowed him to live. Mayweather could have got him out of there. So
I think he stung him with a good right, and then he literally held him up. He dazed him a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. We don't know what these people are going to do as far as matchmaking. Whatever they do, like you said, they'll probably make money. But as far as like Netflix production value, they had Mauro Ronaldo, who I like. He does MMA, he does wrestling, does everything. He's got that big fight feel. And they had like Rosie Perez on commentary. They had celebrities coming in and out, giving their opinion. And then a lot of people had a lot of streaming issues with it. So what was y'all experience with actually watching on Netflix? I had a terrible time. I had to go to my IPTV. I couldn't even watch it on Netflix. It had so much streaming.
Well, this is their second live event. I think the first one was like a hot dog contest or something like that. First time. Yeah. And I think they're getting, if I'm not mistaken, they're getting ready for football. Aren't they doing football? Christmas?
Yeah.
Oof, that's going to be tough. That might have more eyes watching than the boxing match. Because now everybody's off. That's a day that everybody's going to be home. Mm-hmm. That family time, that might have more people watching it. So, they're going to have to get it together. But, this was a test run for that. I think that was good for them to figure out enough time. And I think this is great that Netflix is getting into that sports arena, trying to figure out preventing live events and stuff like that. So that's interesting for us as someone that has Netflix, and it's not for them, but I'm excited for them. Hopefully they can give us some good fights, and get their broadcast together.
60 million views, so that's a lot of people that tune in this fight. Did you have any issues with actually streaming it, Steve?
Definitely did. You know, I figured like, hey, I won't have to do my normal, you know, looking on streams. I can Netflix, it's a formidable platform, you know. And then what do you know? It started glitching out, staying on 25% on
Yep, that's what happened
buffering. And I was like almost in panic mode. I'm like, I'm about to miss this damn fight. And ended up getting on a stream. And it was more, well, the person that it was more stable than the actual dang platform. And I'm like, wow, that's bad. I wonder if, you know, how much that hurt them. Or like you said, they were talking about football, and I was reading in the comments, is like, this better not happen. And, you know, when my football comes on. So I can say this could be a test run. I can say this is one of the biggest event that they had it alive. I think it's good because not only it displays live events as far as sports, it gives more opportunities to sell things to watch, like we just saw, you know. So that's good. Netflix opened up its avenue of that, but I was highly disappointed. I thought it was like, you know, AT&T, you got coverage everywhere, you know. That's what I thought of Netflix. I'm like, I can't believe this is breaking down.
What I don't get is you got Netflix was the first to really do this streaming things, and you got Peacock. I never had any issues with them streaming. Amazon Prime, Thursday Night Football, that never breaks down for me. ESPN Plus, that's the streaming too. Like, if you're Netflix and you're the first to do this, I don't understand why you got issues with this. I'm flabbergasted by it.
Yeah, they got to make some phone calls this week. They got to make some phone calls to some, you know, some other employees in some different departments and figure that out. But I think they'll figure it out by football time. I think it'll be all right.
Yeah, they definitely got to get it together. So Netflix, got until Christmas to figure that out. Thank you for checking out this Haymaker Combat Sports segment. This full episode could be found on the Haymaker Combat Sports YouTube page and in audio form on all major podcast platforms. Until next time, peace.